We live, we live. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome. It's season 2, episode 8 of Brown and Balance. I'm your humble, gracious host, Josh Davis. Man, I'm really happy to be back here with you guys. It's been a little minute since we have done a Brown and Balance, man. So I am super excited for episode 8. Episode 8 is going to be one for the ages. We have a returning segment. You know, Keyatta's coming back. She's going to show us how to grow things. We bring in the OG talk. I'm gonna surprise some of y'all with my guest there, and then we have one of the most talented bartenders in the country, male, female, otherwise, whatever, to come on. And I'm super excited to bring her on to let her tell her story. It's somebody I've gotten to know over the course of last year's shutdown. We actually worked on some projects together, and it's gonna be a great time. But before we get into all of that, you already know how we start every episode. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Rest in peace to Ahmaud Arbery. We still need to arrest them cats that killed Breonna Taylor, and man, and love and light and everything that everyone else that we've lost in this last, year and a half with all the social, justice and unrest and things that's going on in the world. Also, everybody, be safe out here, man. Them COVID, them numbers going back up. So I need y'all to mask up. If you want to get vaccinated, if you don't, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Do what you feel comfortable doing, but at least mask up, man, and be safe when you're out in public. Try to avoid, large situations. I know it's festival season. I've been working the festival this whole week, but we've also been able to do some social distancing measures there to be able to keep, all of us safe there. I know it's been a lot of Palooza here in Chicago. Kanye brought the whole city out last night, and I really wanted to go, but I didn't, just because I'm not fully comfortable being around that many people like that, even though I am vaccinated. So, guys, please, let's everybody be safe, do what you got to do for you, yourself, your family, your loved ones, your older people in your family, your kids, and all that, okay? So before we get to our first guest, y'all already know what it is. We're going to hit the bottom of the screen, man. I need y'all all follow Campari Community on Instagram. Then when you do it, hit that. I know Brittany Leach or somebody from the team is going to put the mailing list, to get on the mailing list, the link to sign up for it in the comments. Sign up. I just got a Negroni family tree and just a bunch of stuff this week that I can't wait to really dive into. It's been a busy week, so I just got it, opened it, looked at it, put it down, but I can't wait to really dive in and get involved, all right? So please, by all means, you never know what you need until you get it. Feel me? So, Joe, Campari Community, get on the mailing list. So let me get out the way. Let's get to our first guest. We're going to bring a person who I argue with almost every day about our song choices, but she shows us how to grow stuff, and she's doing some big things down there in Atlanta. So Keyatta, can I bring you on the screen? What's up?
Hey.
We're not gonna argue yet. I want to get
we got it on site. When I see you come to Atlanta, we got it on site, sir.
Well, that's fine. We can make that the pre-match to Brown and Balance Live. Do Brown and Balance Atlanta Live. So what do we have today? What are we going on? What are you going to tell us about and show us how to grow? Because I've killed everything I tried to grow. So.
Oh, it's all good, man. It's also now it's about transitioning because some people are starting to get ready for fall. So that's kind of where we are right now. We do have an event going on today. We're celebrating National Lemon Week. So we have a bunch of stuff going on today. So as I'm sitting here on the porch chilling, they're setting up the stuff over there in the artist market. So it's going to be fun. But right now, what my members are doing, everybody is figuring out how to protect the harvest that they have and finishing out summer and then getting ready for fall. We're about to start fall planting in the next few days, which will be great. You want to get all your tomatoes and stuff out because they're not producing anymore right now. And then you want to get some hardier greens in. And if you want to sell things directly, you have the opportunity to. And what that means is when you sow directly, you take the seed out of the bag and put it straight into the ground outside, as opposed to starting it inside and letting it, grow a little bit, then putting it in the ground, kind of get it shot to the ground. But that's what we're doing right now. We got some exciting stuff happening. We have a couple of fall dinners coming, a dinner series we're working on, which would be really interesting. Everybody wants to connect, the food, the botanicals, the herbs, everything, because we all go together. Food and drink go together. Sometimes people act like we don't, but we do. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. But yeah, no, we got a lot of cool stuff. Someone reached out to us to create an Amaro, which would be super awesome. We have a lot of herbs growing here, and it'll be a great chance for everyone who has something going here to contribute to that pot, which would be so great. Who can say we have a community tomorrow? That's awesome, right?
Yeah, very much so. Very. I actually was going to ask you about that, but you beat me to it. So thank you.
But no, man, it's some really great stuff, man. It's just so exciting, and I'm just really glad that we're reaching the people that we're reaching with this, and we've gotten the exposure, and it's really awesome. And my members are thriving. A lot of them are going back to work, but we just all everybody's kind of doing their thing, but we're still connected because we still have meditation. We still have a couple of things going on, but we also keep reiterating that we're a safe space because with the recent unfortunate deaths of a few ladies in the industry, we're putting together a rally with some self-defense components. We have some brands that want to sponsor that. So, and honestly, just to have people more aware, because a lot of the girls that work in the garden, they still have these night jobs. So I just want everybody to be safe, because I don't know who got time to be doing this in the pandemic. I don't know who got that kind of free time, but I don't. So I just want to make sure my friends are good and safe,
I feel you. I remember when we heard about that, I was waiting for you to talk to you about that, about how you felt, what could we do as a community to help you with. I remember I text you, Tiff,
yeah,
and
you texted me, Toki, and Tiffany, yeah.
That same night, like,
and you
hey,
were like,
man,
yo,
get y'all concealed carry, get y'all like, just be safe. You know what I mean? Because we
yeah,
don't want anything to happen to anyone, at all. But I know the
anyone,
three of y'all personally, and that really kind of showed
exactly.
me that that's going on. So you let us know as a community, especially in the bartending community across the country, definitely in Atlanta, like anything that we can do to help you guys or to assist or anything like that.
Hmm.
By all means, please, we will definitely put it out there for you.
We appreciate it, and I feel like it's more awareness than anything, because a lot of times, especially you going about your shift and you getting off work, you're not even thinking somebody could be watching or lurking. It's just giving people more of that insight, and honestly, the self-defense stuff isn't for you to kill somebody, it's for you to have enough time to get away, you know what I mean? So, and then we also want to just make sure we're practicing things that because as much as I hear and understand guns and stuff, what happens if the gun gets out of your hands? You already gone.
Yeah.
So just more steps like that, just mindful steps, and to include all of those things. It's a great way, and why the garden is important, because again, we got to take care of us, because all we got is each other. We got to take care of us, and our community is it's up and down right now. We gotta stay vigilant. We gotta stay encouraged, and we just gotta keep going. We're a tough industry, and it's a lot of us that left, but it's still some of us who are here, and we want to improve it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've been meaning to ask you too. Like, I met you as bartender Keyatta, and now you're like
Hmm.
you're running the garden and you're doing like at the beginning of your career. Did you see yourself doing something like this, or like where do you see
No.
your career trajectory? Because I remember I would see your name like in every competition. You know what I mean? I would see you. Tim would talk about you all the time, and I would just be like, man, Keyatta's super dope. But now you transition into basically being somebody that's doing what I don't know how many religious people out there, but the Bible says
Hmm.
be fruitful and take care of the earth and things, and you're doing things like that. You know what I mean? How did you see your trajectory going to where you are now?
I always found and figured it would be something dealing with community or charity stuff, because my father was an activist. My father was a philanthropist, all these different things, and so did my mother. So I always saw myself kind of in that direction. I didn't know that I would be carried there through spirits, which I'm so grateful for. But now, especially because now there's not a set path. You can bartend, and bartenders now are having TV shows, books, multi-million dollar deals on different things. So the sky is definitely the limit. I have personally branded myself as the Joanna Gaines of cocktails. That's the trajectory. I'm having these awesome conversations. I'm talking about land ownership and African American land rights and food security and mental health. So I'm being pushed in different pockets that I'm allowed to have a platform for through spirits. And it's really tragic how a lot of times people try to demonize spirits. Oh no, spirits are out there as a part of life and a part of something. So one of my members just left. She sweated it out in the garden. Like, bye girl. But
Right.
yeah, and I'm really grateful that I'm able to do these things. And at the end of the day, I just want to do good stuff with my friends. And that's it. I want to support my friends. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to laugh with my friends. I want to drink with my friends. and I want to support my friends. So I'm really grateful.
Absolutely. That's super dope. But look, speaking of hanging out with your friends and all that, God willing that we don't get shut down again, Brown and Bounce Atlanta is coming back. You guys will be the first live event that we'll produce since 2018. And I haven't asked you, even though I know you're going to say yes, I haven't asked you. So I figure I'm going to ask you live on camera. You
You're going to put me on blast?
One of the featured bartenders for Brown and Bounce Atlanta.
I am in. I don't care if you got me out here filling people's waters. I'm here. I'm out here.
I love it. I just wanted to make sure, I specifically knew I was bringing you on the show, so I didn't want to, text you and ask you. Everybody else is already in, and I knew you would, but, I can't do it without you. So I would definitely, there's no way I'm coming to Atlanta and not involving you in it.
I appreciate that so much. We still got our on site when I see you, but it's all love.
Absolutely. The first time we met in person, like we were arguing. So I was like, yeah,
exactly.
We're like an old married couple, even though you're already
married. I love it.
An old married couple, because you literally pulled me to the side. Ain't too many people my height in the industry. So, you pulled me to my side and was like, hey, dog, if you do another Brown and Balance and I ain't involved in it, we going to have a problem. And I was like,
we are.
Well, see, now look what happened. See? Now look what happened. All right. So I got you. Is there anything, tell the people how to find the garden. Tell people how to find you. And if anybody wants to get involved with the garden, donations, anything like that, please don't drop all that in there. So anybody who's been under a rock and ain't seen you on season 1 or season 2 of Brown and Balance, you know what I'm saying? Let them know how to find you.
Well, of course, we're all on all the social media platforms. We're on Google stuff. We have a website. Just boom. Thank you, Leo. Just check it out. A Sip of Paradise Garden. You can Google us. And I hate saying that so much, but if you Google it, everything will come up. All the events that we're doing, all of our donation information, and we are a registered business as well as a 501c3. So donations are always welcome. We are here to support bartenders in the hospitality community, but we love everyone. We really, really do. So all the stuff we do is not exclusive to bartenders or hospitality. It's just, catered to them, but we love everyone. Just like when you all come into our bars and our restaurants, we love y'all. Well, until, y'all give us a reason to not love you, but we love you. Come hang out with us. We do. And I think it's great too. It humanizes us. I don't want people thinking they have this conception of bartenders, but most of the people here, I have a disabled veteran. I have a girl that makes soap. I have a painter. I have parents.
Wow.
I have so many people in here. Yeah. And we're people just like everyone. So, and it's really encouraging for people to see that, we have these careers as bartenders in hospitality, and we love and we're giving, but we're also human as well. So it's a great opportunity for people to see that.
So I have one last question. You ain't got to answer it if you don't want to, but I do have one question. With cannabis becoming, legal everywhere in a minute, like it'll be legal everywhere. Is that something you're thinking? I've been doing a lot of research in the growing, and I have a few friends in the growing. Is that something that possibly a Sip of Paradise would venture into?
We can. I have been working on my branding side as myself. I have been working with a company. They're based in California. I have been working with them, helping them with cocktails and consulting and stuff. So it's a conversation that I'm always up to have every conversation. I really am. So we just have to see and make it make sense, and then we have to understand the legal ramifications on that, and just I have to see all facets of it, because that's still a controversial subject, especially we in the Bible Belt down here.
Right. Yeah. Y'all
I don't want nobody coming up here with their Bible.
Right. Y'all will be the last for it to be fully 100% legal. So, okay. I was just wondering, I've been researching since we've, been home and not really been able to move around as freely as we used to pre-2020. Just a thought, just something I meant to ask you about earlier, but
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Yep.
But if we do it though, let's talk.
Oh, please. We already got it going on, but we already got it. It's a love relationship.
Love it. I love it. Well, thank you. We appreciate you coming on, sharing your knowledge, sharing the garden with us. We'll argue about the song choice later. We'll do that another day. We're going to end this on a peaceful note. So thank you, Keyatta, for coming on.
As always. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, big little brother. You always got me on the mind. I really appreciate you. You're encouraging Texas, and I really appreciate you as a friend and all this, and so happy for you with Brown and Balance and the shout out through Tails. That's amazing. Like
Thank you.
that's you, like it's a win for all of us, man. It really
Thank
is. And I know you the type of brother that you bring us with you. Like it's like, oh, I see you. All right, let me bring the homie with me. We all have room to grow and shine and be seen. And I appreciate that with you.
Thank you. Y'all gonna stop trying to make me be emotional on camera. Like I'm tired of y'all doing this to me.
Why?
Every time we talk, y'all all try to do it between you and Lindsay and Lisa and everybody else. Y'all be trying to make me be all. No, I'm not doing it. Not today. I'm not gonna do
Oh, don't
it.
do it.
I'm not only gonna do it because our next segment, because I know he's gonna have the jokes. Our next segment,
Oh
if you
yeah.
saw me do
Oh,
that,
you about to get got good.
that's
I
what I'm
hope he
saying.
gets
Because
you
I know
good.
who's coming next. The big homie. I can't. No, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Certain
Mm-hmm.
people in your life, you don't want to give them extra ammunition to shoot at you. And our next guest is one of those people, so I'm not gonna do it. But no, thanks, Key. I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you get to the garden. I know you said you had to make some runs and move around, so by all means, do
Oh
your.
yeah.
I appreciate you. I just appreciate you. Thank you.
Awesome. Always. Y'all have a great day.
Be good, love. Be good. All right, so that was Better Cribs and Gardens with Keyatta. I mean, what more amazing, time you have to be a person that's literally out there helping feed and do good things in the community. That's so dope. So before we move to our next segment, y'all already know I'm gonna do it again. Campari Community, the original super producer. Sorry, Dave. The original super producer is back. Thank you, Leo. He's gonna put Campari Community right there. Follow them on Instagram. You can stay up to date with everything Campari is doing, all across the board. They have so many different educational opportunities going on virtually for everyone. And then boom, Brittany Leach. See, right on time. The mailing list is right there. Again, I got some in the mail this week. Really excited to dive into it, and I can't wait. Speaking of Campari Community, for any of you squirrels out there, if you signed up for virtual Camp Run Amok, you signed up for virtual Camp Run Amok this Tuesday coming up the 31st. There's only 50 spots, so I hope you guys RSVP. There will be the Brown and Balanced roast of moi on virtual Camp Run Amok. I'm not going to tell you who all the roasters are, but they're people that know me pretty well. It's hosted by Miss Mia Love, and I'm going to let you guys have some fun at the expense of me. So maybe if we can maybe squeeze more than 50 slots in, maybe I'll shoot out to anybody who didn't make it, anybody who doesn't understand what Camp Run Amok is or what a Brown and Balance live event looks like. Maybe I'll shoot out a link to a couple of you guys. Maybe we'll do a contest on Brown and Balance, on our Instagram, and you guys can pop in and you can get to laugh at me for a few hours. All right. So there we have it. So our next guest, man, I'm super excited. This person is coming on. The next segment I came up with this year for season 2 is called OG Talk. And y'all hear me say the OGs, or y'all saw the t-shirt I made with the OG7 black bartenders that influenced me. But there's a ton of people that influenced me in my career. There's a ton of people that, I know I can call that's a friend, somebody that I might not even talk cocktails with. We just talk real life and we just have fun. And this person's a wealth of knowledge. So for this segment, OG Talk, we're going to see what the over-under is on which one of us is going to curse first, but I don't want Anna Louise to call me. But without further ado, I'm honored to bring my big brother, Giuseppe Gonzalez, on to come and holler at me. What's up, man?
What's up, Poppy? How you doing?
I'm good, Poppy. Hey, they got a bet, man, trying to see which one of us is going to curse first, man, on here.
And when you were talking to Keyatta, and I'm basically like, yo, he's going to rag on me, I thought to myself, man, I was trying to keep it positive. I mean, I always jokes.
Man, it's all good, brother. Well, first, man, thank you. You know what I mean, for being a part of this. It's an honor to have you on, dude. Like, you one of the people in the industry that from afar, before I got to know you, I looked up to. You know what I mean? Once I met you, it was all love from day one, man. So for anybody who don't know who you are, man, just tell them your story, how you got in the industry, man, from New York and made it all the way out to Vegas now.
Lord, how do I begin, man? Shit, freaking. My father and grandfather are both bartenders. So I kind of got fucked into this industry by them, and I kind of fucked my daughter into it because she bartends now too. But long story short, been bartending for a long time, been lucky enough to know really great people who've had a ton of influence in my life and in the industry. Eventually went to open up a few of my own bars. But the thing I guess I'm most proud of, people ask me about the industry, is probably just I've been sober for 7.5 years. So it's now I feel like I wish I'd gotten sober 26 years ago when I started that thing, because you know what I mean. I'd probably be rich by now and freaking. I don't know, man. Shit, like it's like it's weird talking about yourself. You know what I mean? Because it's like not necessarily like talking about yourself, but remembering things from the past and whatnot, and like certain things you remember fondly. Other shit, you're just like, yeah, I wish I'd done that different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was some clown shit, you know. But like,
Yeah.
we're here, we're positive and whatnot. We've never talked cocktails, by the way, you and me.
Never. Not once, bro.
Cocktail comp, you asked me like, yo, where's the ice? I'm like, yo, it's there.
Facts, man.
Not your bar back, motherfucker. Gotta
go. Facts, dog. Facts. Hey, real talk though, man. With you going sober, I wanted to ask you about that later, man. So in the hood, we both in the hood, dude. And it's always that whole concept in the hood. I don't trust a bartender who doesn't drink. And I know there's probably a bunch of like young bartenders, man, struggling, trying to figure out if they want to do it, if they don't want to do it, man. What's some advice you would give somebody when they're trying to, go the route you went?
Really think about your life, man. You know what I mean? See what you want to do in the industry. Like my connection in the industry is different now than it was when I first started. Like I'm always like preaching, like, try to find like happiness outside your work, because you're pretty much not going to find it, behind the bar. You know what I mean? Make your job happy. You know what I mean? Make your job a place where like you're safe, where like you can still have those and do those things that make you happy and make you a better father, a better person, But like, if you think, if you think that your Ramos Gin Fizz is really what's limiting you from like growing as a bartender, I'm like, you got that all wrong. You know what I mean? Nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? Maybe like 5 people on the planet and some scumbags at 3 a.m. that really want a Ramos Gin Fizz. Fuck out of here.
Right.
But if you're looking to be sober, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's just like, yeah, it's a deeply personal question. There's no real one answer.
Yeah.
For everybody, I would say always like reach out to somebody who is sober and ask for help. That's like step one. How do I say this? I had like, it's like anything, like, I think it comes down to a mental health thing. We're just like, we don't know how to ask for help. We always think it's a willpower thing. We don't treat it like it's a disease. You know what I mean? So like when I first got sober, I reached out to someone. His name is Jan Warren. He was the only bartender I knew that was sober. Connection me and Jan had was like, we're both from the Bronx. And I never talked to Jan. He was actually one of those people I used to clown behind his back because I was a piece of shit. And I would be like, yeah, I don't fucking, like, he doesn't drink, fuck that. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't know what he's talking about. Or like, blah, like, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I came to him, I asked him for help, and it was like, and he knew I was talking shit, you know what I mean? And Jan would just call me out because he's a Bronx head, and he's kind of ruthless when he wants to be. But long story short, 7 years later, I just kept on reaching out. And there's a pretty good, it's not like I want to say when it was 7 years ago, and maybe it was bigger, but like now I feel like sobriety is not like looked down upon, or like it's not treated that way. It's always like a congratulations or some other stuff, like, oh, congrats. And I'm like, oh, congrats. There's always a small part of me that's petty when people congratulate me on my sobriety. It's like, oh, congrats, man. Just like, yo, man, I pay my child support on time too. You know what I mean? Do I get
Facts.
Oh, like, like you don't get, like you shouldn't get congratulations. You shouldn't be congratulated on something you should be doing for yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, okay, so I'm not self-destructive. I'm not burning bridges. I'm not fucking, you know what I mean? I'm able to function. I'm able to work out and do things and maintain my health. I'm able to be a father. Like that's what I feel like they're congratulating me on. It's like, oh, welcome to the human race again. I'm like, you piece of shit. Like, those are obviously my only insecurities I'm working with, and just like, of course, it comes from a good place, But yeah, that's primarily what I focus on. You know what I mean? Don't really do anything industry related, but I do want to give you a congrats, Poppy. Thank you. Like real talk. When I was coming up, you know what I mean? There was just 3 people in the rooms. All right. And we both know them. It was just Clyde Davis, hustling rum. It was Jackie, hustling liquor, and me hustling bullshit drinks. Yep. And literally I would just like gravitate towards them in every room I went to, because it was just like, all right, bet. Like, I hate using like buzz terms like white spaces. I just call them all the spaces.
Right.
redundant. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, bet. And we would just be there, and from a community of 3. Oh, and shout out to Remy Shobatan, Remy, and Charles Hardwick, 5.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
don't want
5, yeah.
we used to hang out at my bar. I was like, yeah, Charles, my bad, puppy, my bad. But I mean, it's a different day now. You know what I mean? And actually see like you nominated for a Tales Award, and actually see that there's a show, you know, that. You know what I mean? That you're hosting, and that like you have this voice and you have this platform, and you can see like you know, like if I were a young cat and be like, yo, where are all the black and brown bartenders? I'd be like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm definitely not finding them in speakeasies. I'm definitely not finding them in cocktail bars. You know what I mean? Like maybe one guy, you know, maybe, you know, and now it's a different game.
Yeah. Facts, man. Thank you, bro. Hey, look, coming from you, it means a lot. Because like I said, we've had these talks, you know, on the side, you know, off camera and all that, man. So I know it's genuine coming from you. So I appreciate you, dog, for real.
Shout out you gave me. You're one of 3 people who recognized my love of Jadakiss and realized I was and had that and actually admitted that they were wrong for about a decade.
Hey, dude, look, I was going to introduce you today. Like, hey, when Kiss said I get it from Giuseppe or maybe the essay, I was like, oh, this is who he was talking about back in 2010.
I still cough funny. Like I can't do it. Yeah, it's not official yet.
Word. Hey, so look, one more question about the sobriety. Did moving to Vegas help you with that? Like, did you need to get out of New York, get away from that hustle and bustle, and get somewhere like a little slower pace? Even though Vegas, everybody thinks Vegas is just nuts all the time, but I mean, when you off the strip, it's a regular city.
No, it's this is the thing. There's always 2 sides to every coin. You know what I mean? So as much as like Vegas can party hard, and you can be the biggest athlete, but I mean, you hear the stories about Dennis Rodman, blah blah, and Michael, and all this other shit, and like Tiger, and like every other fucking athlete going crazy. You know what I mean? That same side, there's the side of sobriety is just as hard here, maybe even harder than places. You know what I mean? Because this city is so, especially it's the city that's like that's driven by service workers and hospitality. Someone either works in the industry or is connected to someone like, okay, I'm the plumber, but I do all the plumbing for the casinos, and the casinos do this. Like, it's all connected. You know what I mean? So it's the lifeblood.
Yeah.
So a lot of freaking issues with addiction and disease, and there's a lot of, and it's like it's really easy to be sober here, man. It's like I thought it was going to be tough, you know, but if anything, man, like it is a really big community. Like I work with like 7 people in my restaurant that are sober.
Oh, wow.
Where before, like I had to find the one guy here. It's like I got 7 people. It's like, yo, where do I catch a meeting? Blah blah, this and that. Like, what can I drink on this menu? About, you know what I mean? And we can talk about stuff. I have one guy who was like 20 years in the game sober, and I'm like, oh man, I'm baby sober. You're like old man sober. You know,
right.
21. But did it help me? No, I do feel like it. Like, did it help me? Let me correct. I don't want to answer this too fast. I wouldn't have been able to make a decision like that had I not been in a different place. You know,
okay.
Friday was just like when I talk to young bartenders. You know what I mean? Like when I first started in this industry, literally every ounce of energy that was creative, physical, mental, spiritual went into my job. You know, and I pushed myself, and I reached a certain point, and I was like, what were to happen if I were to just expend that energy somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I used to own a bar called Suffolk Arms, and I got into it with my business partner, and I was talking to Neck, and Neck is sober.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to Neck. But long story short, me and him are having the convo. He's like, come to Vegas. And I'm just like, and had I not been sober long enough, or had him to support me, and I never would have been out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have made that choice for myself. I was always like, oh, New York. I'm born and bred, you know, 2 generations, you know what I mean? My daughter's still there, you know? So like leaving that space and saying, you know what, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this like this anymore. Just want to bartend. I just want to run every day. I want to freaking play video games. I want to read a book as much as I can. You know, I know this pandemic has been hard for people. It was not hard for me. Like I used to be one of those fucking people that used to think that used to focus my future around my job.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic now, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you gave me a year where I don't have to do shit but run, bake, read all the books, watch stupid. I mean, this is retirement. Sign me in, bro. Sign me in.
Facts. Facts.
You know, just a lot of work on self-improvement and like mental health, meditation, you know, like it's probably like my favorite. I don't know, like I don't want to hate using that word because it sounds like a buzzword, but like meditating is dope, you know, like
Word.
like I look at guys like I once again I'm gonna bring it back to the locks, like somebody like Styles P. You know what I mean? And you see somebody, you know, and if you just listen to like if you were just listen to his music, which I've never done because I'm like obsessed with like, see what they do outside of their lives, and you see like the vegan spots, and you see the juice spots, and you talk about mental health, you know, and all these other things. You're just like there's an eloquence there, and there's a lot you can learn from like people that like are like when I look at sobriety, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like seeing someone of color in particular from the hood live their best life. Like, you know, like I think another person, like you see me on it's never post about drinks, but you'll always see shit about Gucci, you know, like, you know what I mean? Cause like seeing that, like seeing how, like, you know, how beautiful his life is and like how sobriety has like changed him. You know what I mean? Like that's the only concert I've been in 3 years. Just like, oh, Gucci's performing at Dre's nightclub. I'm going. I called my GM hookup and she gave me like a private booth and I'm just listening to Gucci and he's drinking water, doing whatever. And I'm just looking at like how he navigates. And I don't really give a shit about the music. I'm like, how does he navigate this space where everybody around him is fucked up?
Yeah, his whole lifestyle. Yeah.
Everybody around him, not the people close to him, but I'm saying like, you know, everybody coming to see him perform, you know what I mean, is a different mind state. And he's just up there, you know what I mean, with his beautiful wife, drinking water, performing and getting the fuck out, cashing his check. And the next day posting some shit where him and Keisha just went to the fucking beach and we're like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like, I feel like that's something that like bartenders should learn because basically like, you know what I mean? Like we can't be part of the party. You know what I mean? Like, you know, another thing we talk about, and I was thinking just like, oh, me and Josh, what do we always talk about? It's just like, yo, fucking like you're one of the few fathers. So when I see you post pictures of your little man who's in college right now, I'm like, oh man, we're old. Yeah.
We're old, dog. Yeah.
So tell your boy to freaking, you know what I mean, not make that happen for a bit.
Oh, right? No, I took care of him. He got 2 boxes when we went to Walmart when we down there. Nah, we're not doing that.
Trust me, my mom did the same thing. I didn't use them. I was like, all right, cool. If my daughter's watching, be like, Poppy, I'm like, yo, my bad. You know.
Facts though. Hey, I told him, man, we went to Walmart, man, to get him just stuff for his dorm room, and his mom was there. I picked up 2 boxes. Said, here, dog, these are for you. Use them. She was like, don't give him those. I said, you'd much rather you have them than not have them.
Exactly. You know, normally, you know what I'm saying, where it's just like it's just one of those things like when you have your kids in this industry, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like one of my biggest regrets is just like, oh man, like, you know what I mean? If I like now I'm making the investment, you know, that I should have, but like, you know, the late hours and then waking up, you know, man, you lose so much, man. It's like, you can't get back. And it's like, oh, fuck, you know, like would have been doper if like, you know, I figured out a way to be able to like work this job and also like be like the superstar father, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Which I see you do, so props once again.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. I'm just you know, I lost dad in March, so I'm just trying to do what he taught me, you know what I mean, how to do, man. So, bro, I appreciate you. We gotta bring Jarmel up, but hey, what happened to the mustache journey, bro? What's going on, man?
No, I had a moment where I got like super anxiety about it, where I knew I was gonna be on this fucking show. I was like, yeah, mustache looks ridiculous. I look like a fucking character. I look.
You had the porn stash going, man. It was working.
A lot of 70-year-old women thought I was stupidly hot. You know what I mean? But like all the fucking, you know, chicks in my, you know, all the 35 to 45-year-olds, they were like,
right.
Oh. I was like, oh man, okay.
I got it. I love it, man. Hey, look, let the young Puerto Rican bartenders know how to find you if you want to be found, because I know you're not really like.
Yeah. Don't hit me up on my DMs, man. Just like people. They do that, asking me for Trinidad Sour specs. I'm like, yo, fuck the Trinidad Sour, you know, like.
Oh, it's almost pumpkin spice season too, by the way.
No. I've already got the fucking links. I already wrote the post. Like every in Starbucks never ends. I'm patient as fuck. You know.
Oh, I got a question for you. Just hit the screen, dude. Any OG advice for a new person of color bar manager?
The answer is yes. but it's not really gauged like, it's like when, how do I say this? What worked for me, I used to be a real piece of shit. And I'm not blaming anybody but myself, but it's always one of those things where you just like, you learn how to treat people in a restaurant, and please and thank you are always implied. You bark at people, and then of course that bleeds into your real life, and you're talking to people a certain way. You can't restaurant speak, the normal people,
Right.
So now, and really it's something I learned. There's a bartender named is Karen Stanley, who I love to death. And there'd be like, you need your consigliere person that keeps you in check. Karen Stanley was always that person that kept me in check. When she's like, Joey, you could have done it this way, blah, blah, this and that. And of course I end up apologizing, but like, if you're gonna, one big hint, all right, I know every fucking bar manager has a group thread with all his bartenders on it, where they send bitchy little texts. Or God, you didn't clean the wells last night, or like, hey, oh God, like, why is this check still open? You know what I mean? Like, don't send them out on the group text. And really, so you give yourself a moment to pause before you actually speak to them, like as a group. And ask yourself just one simple question. Long story short, just like, is this going to make my bartender's life better?
Yeah.
It's going to make it better. And there are things we're just like, all right, bet, like, yo guys, like, this, like, if you're gonna bitch about something, remind people why, just like, okay, we need this done because if this doesn't happen, then I can't do this, and this makes your life,
right.
And that's basically it. So like there are sometimes like somebody forgets something, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, all right, bet, like, little things, but like making it the end of the world. Long story short is the problems that you have are never going to go away. Team is always going to fuck up, and it's not, you know what I mean? It's just like certain bar managers take it personally, and you kind of like have to be like, all right, so-and-so closed the bar like shit yesterday. There are ways to address it, blah, blah. So-and-so, you know what I mean, got into it with a guest, blah. So-and-so had 2 walkouts, These problems never go away. It happens to all of us. It happens to me, you know what I mean? I'm 26 years, and once in a while I'll be like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? I fucked that. I forgot that. And just like ask yourself, you know what I mean? Like, is this going to matter in 24 hours? I think is the better question. Is anyone good about this in 24 hours? 99% of the time, the answer is no. Like, oh my God, so-and-so makes things without bitters. And it's like, it's not on the spec sheet. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like,
Right. Right.
Like, did they drink it? Yeah, they drank it, but like, blah, it's not how we do it. I'm like, nobody cares. Like, come on, man.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
Nobody cares. Like, you know what I mean? The bigger issue is, does this person show up on time? Is this person, you know what I mean, great to be around? Is this person, like half the time, you know what I mean? Like, half the time I used to send it, like, perfect example. Half the time I used to send out shit, like something didn't happen at night. Karen would just be like, Joey, they just worked 12 hours and they're really tired. Like, having, expecting perfection after a 12-hour shift and leaving at 4 or 5 in the morning. And there's like, what? And I would still, and she would tell me that every fucking time, and I would still fucking do it. And
I'm still do it.
You know what I mean? Like, my morning coffee, you know what I mean? Now I have to freaking organize the bar. My life is like, I'm a little bitch I was being a little bitch.
Yeah.
And not being, so if you're a bar manager, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, don't personalize it. Just like, see that there are solutions you can find. That's just like, all right, there's a 12. The real problem is that they're working 12-hour shifts and blah. So maybe we can just like, make life easier. It's like, all right, don't do this. We'll take care of this in the morning. Or like, we'll make this an opening duty when everybody's fresh. But there are solutions to everything, but like, pause. But like yelling at people like now is just like, I just don't feel it's effective, and Karen Stanley and another person I want to give a shout out to is my daughter, because like sometimes like, like my daughter constantly, like, daughter's a little Puerto Rican girl. So like she has no problem correcting my ass and telling me to shut the fuck up, and she'll be like, sometimes like, Poppy, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I used to, I don't do it as much now, but like, like when you talk to people, the way you talk at work, when that shit comes home, that's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing at all. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like your partner, your kids, like, you know what I mean? Just like blah, 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 behind you, blah. Like, they look at you and just like, you don't ever leave that space mentally. And it's like, yeah, that shit's not
right
always there. And I don't want to, I want to mentally be here with you, drinking my coffee and my vape pen.
Absolutely. Hey, man, bro, thank you for the knowledge. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Just the relationship between us. I appreciate you, man, for real. I'll see you soon. I'll be out there Bears weekend. So
Okay.
I'll see you.
Whatchamacallit? Before you leave, if your roast doesn't have Gene Samuel on it, it's suspect.
It is. No,
Okay.
he's on there. He's one of them.
Okay, he needs to be he's. If I had to choose my champion,
he's going last.
Not me. I'm like, oh, Gene. We need Gene in.
He's going last. Yeah.
I would not want. I would cry. I would.
Oh man, I don't know what I signed up for with this roast, bro. But we're gonna have some fun, dog. We're gonna have some fun, man. So, but I will see you soon. Man, I love you. I appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna keep doing what we're doing, man. From you to me, and then I pass it down to the next generation. Appreciate you, man. All right, guys, that was Giuseppe, man. Like, if y'all don't know, one, I'm really happy that he cursed first. So all you guys that were on Instagram, I want my money. That's one. Two, having people like Giuseppe, somebody who's a straight shooter, somebody who's never going to BS you, somebody who's always going to tell you the truth, even when you don't want to hear it, is vital to have just in your life. Forget this industry, forget your career, forget all that. Everybody needs a Giuseppe in their life because he's going to always give it to you straight. And I appreciate having, if a big brother like him in this game who's become a friend outside of all this, man. So shout out to him. I hope some of you guys, were able to take some of the things he said, get some real good advice, man. People like him, people like Dwayne, people like Jackie, Ian. We got some more OGs coming on later on this season. Got a couple surprise guests coming later on the season that all have, 26 years in the game, and he's still in the game. He's doing something right. You know what I mean? So hats off, shout out to my big bro. That was dope. And like I said, I want my money, guys, because I didn't curse. All right. So look, before we get to our featured bartender is a monster too, by the way. Before we do that, my super producer, the original super producer, is gonna throw Campari Community on there. You know what I mean? Follow him on the gram if you're not. Hit the mailing list. Get some stuff sent to you. And I get a random phone call from Ann Louise every now and again. Now, I'm not gonna say she's gonna call you guys, but I happen to get that. So you never know what happens when you sign up on the Campari mailing list. And yes, from what Giuseppe said and what Keyatta said, I didn't want to come away and talk about it because I did a little post before because I wanted the show to be about everyone else. Thank you all for all the love, for all the congratulations, for all of, just all the text messages and the group messages we've been getting, man. But Brown and Balance is nominated for a Spirited Award. If you know the story, I'm not going to go into it here, but if you know the story, you know how much of a not full circle, but a half circle moment this is for Brown and Balance to be nominated at Tails, man. Shout out to all the other 9 finalists in the best broadcast category. It's some good names. A few people I know personally, a few people I found this week and started following them and checking out their thing. But thank you all. I'm totally humbled and flattered by all the love received. This is really, really, it's tripped out. Like if you know me and you know my industry story, is really tripped out that we're here now. But like I said, last night, the work's not done. This nomination is just the beginning. We're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to find and identify Black and brown talent. We're going to keep pushing everybody ahead, and we're going to keep changing the game. The game is on notice now. So we here, and we about to continue to grow. And, who knows what's going to happen 5 years from now. You know what I mean? It's going to happen 1 year from now. But we're going to keep pushing and keep doing what we do, man. Shout out to my pops. This is for him because I never folded. I didn't bend. I didn't break. I was myself because Big George always told me, be yourself, man. Let everybody else adjust to you. So shout out to him, man. This award, this nomination is for my pops, man. So thank you for all the life lessons you gave me, man, for real. All right. So with that being said, let's get to our featured bartender. Our featured bartender is a monster. She's dope. She is super dope. I knew her name. We probably knew each other's name in the city because she is Chicago. She is a true blue Chicagoan like myself. And I never got a chance because, I'm going to let her explain to it. Forget all that. Let's bring Jarmel Doss on the screen. Yeah, I ain't gonna do all that. I'm gonna talk about
I'm over here laughing.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I ain't. Let me let her tell everybody how dope she is. You know what I'm saying? How are you?
I'm good. I
I'm
don't
glad
know how we're gonna talk about being dope, but
but you are though because one, where you work at, that's not, everybody can't work there.
Anybody could work here.
Anybody could.
Anybody could work here.
But because you being you, yeah, everybody can. You know what I'm getting at, right? You know where I'm going with this, right?
I do.
Right.
I do.
So let me get out of the way. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been under a rock for the last 4-5 years, don't know who this wonderful, beautiful, strong, talented Black woman is. This is Miss Jarmel Doss from the Aviary here in Chicago. And I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to say the other word I want to say because Giuseppe broke the cuss button. And I'm going to let her tell everybody her story, how she got in this industry, how she got in the game. And then I'm going to come with some other questions for her after that.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been service industry for a long, long time. I started out working at Steak and Shake. Yeah, back in the day as a child.
Word.
And knew that there was money in the service industry from that. And I was in school. I went to University of Chicago. It was very expensive. And so I started working at an Italian restaurant, realized that the bartenders were making more money and decided that that's what I wanted to do. Knew a couple of friends who were bartending at clubs in Chicago and were making a lot of money because I grew up in the burbs. And so I asked to do service well every weekend. I wanted to build up speed. I wanted to get faster. I wanted to get better. And then I just started bartending downtown Chicago, nightclubs, speed bartending. That was my thing for years. Found myself running a place in Boys Town, really late nights, constantly having to put on a party. And I was getting tired. And one of my servers at the time used to work at Alinea and said, they have a bar and you would probably love being there. It would suit you. I had no idea what this place was. Found them on Culinary Agents, filled out an application, came in and did a stage. And by the end of the stage, I was like, nope, I want to go work there. So, came in, just regular bartending. I get bored very easily. So within about 6 months, I was already expediting. And after that, I started kind of getting into competitions. It was just something to do. I just wanted to push myself and started working in the office. That really helped me push myself. So I did more competitions. So yeah, that's what I do now.
Word. So now you're at Aviary, you're in the office. For anybody who hasn't been to Chicago or New York and haven't been to either, the Aviary, but can you explain like what you guys do at Aviary and then at the office as well?
So I feel like what we do now, a lot of other people also do. But when we started doing it 10 years ago, it was novel for what it was. And it was looking at cocktails from a culinary standpoint and making it into the kind of creative aspect that Alinea does. So really trying to bring presentation and experience into it and not just really good cocktails. So the Aviary is very presentational. You're going to get smoke, you're going to get fire, you're going to get dry ice and aromas. And it's all of these extra components that you're adding on to the cocktails. And then the office is kind of its polar opposite, where it's meant to feel like you're in your grandfather's basement. We're playing like 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B, like it's a vibe, but you're dealing with a lot of fun ingredients that we look at from a culinary standpoint that people wouldn't expect to find.
Word.
So things like tinctures made from nori or Iberico ham, or, our back bar is crazy down here. There's almost too much to play around with. So a lot of dealer's choice, a lot of bespoke cocktails, and then a lot of vintage, and we infuse truffles into cocktails. We do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been, it's been a while. I have not been down there in a long time, but I'm coming to see you real soon. But if you weren't in the industry, like I know you said you found, bartending, it was dope for you. What would you be doing? Because I read your interview, and when it said what you would have been doing, I was like, that's way above my Chicago public school education. What would Jarmel be doing?
So my degree is in biochemistry.
Wow.
And I was actively pursuing PhD programs in medicinal chemistry. So basically I wanted to design drugs. And at that point, I had been bartending for a very long time, and what they were offering as a stipend was not gonna make me be able to live. And I said, okay, fine, I'm making a good living doing what I'm doing now. I'll figure out how to turn this into an actual career.
Yeah.
So.
Word. That's dope. I mean, considering that's your background, how does that tie in the aviary with the things you do at aviary?
We have a lot of really fun equipment we get to play with. You know, we have centrifuge machines, we have rotary evaporators, we have sonicators. So I do get to use some of it, but I think more of it comes down to just kind of like, I don't want to call it common sense because it's not as common as common sense, but it's just being able to just use the things that I already know as I'm doing what I'm doing and not having to refer to a book to figure things out. So that helps.
Word. Okay. Well, look, I have to throw a curveball in there. There's probably, I guarantee, a young black woman bartender who's looking at you and who's like, I want to be like Jarmel. What would be some advice, you would give young Jarmel to get to where Jarmel's at now?
Be willing to work hard. Be willing to work hard and don't take no for an answer. Yeah. Like, don't let people close doors on you just because of what you look like or what they assume you're going to look like reading your resume. I mean, my name is Jarmel. It's not a common name. So looking at a resume, people are probably already considering or assuming that I am of some kind of color, and people like to look and assume that you don't know the things that you do. You'd be surprised how often I get overlooked or people assume that I am not at the level that I'm at because they have no idea who I am until they find out where I work. And then the switch flips. And all of a sudden it's, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, well, you could have acted like that in the first place.
Exactly.
So
I love it.
Yeah, don't take no for an answer.
That's what I was looking for. Let's talk about your cocktail. Because I got one more curveball question, but I want to talk about your cocktail first. Let's talk about the Endless Summer.
Yeah, unless I'm a big agave spirit. I drink spirits. I don't really drink cocktails, which is always something that people ask me, what's your favorite cocktail? I don't really drink cocktails. I drink spirits. So I'm usually drinking an aged agave spirit or some form of whiskey. But for summer, I love agave spirits. And I just wanted something that was bright, refreshing, had some interesting nuance to it, but that could easily be scaled up and thrown into something in your backyard with some ice for everybody just to kind of grab. So mezcal with a little bit of añejo tequila just to give it a little bit more backbone. And then cantaloupe just because it's bright, refreshing, nice summer fruit with some ancho. And I didn't put it on there, but you should probably do like a tahini rim, which would make it perfect.
Sorry, man. My guy.
Oh, you're fine.
My guy was doing my grass. Just pulled up. No, but I heard everything you said. I was just trying to take care of that. Okay, curveball question. You ready? Because I know you didn't know what I was going to ask you. This question became infamous last year, and I'm going to bring it to you because we are Chicago. So if you had a starting five, your 95, 96 Chicago Bulls starting bartender lineup, what would it be?
Wait, bartending lineup?
Your point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. But they bartenders. You're 72 and 10. You're going to go to war with them. What would it be?
Tia Barrett, beverage director of Esme. Alexis Tinoco, that's my counterpart here. She and I, we get it in together. Oh man. You're making this hard for me.
I did, I know.
I'm throwing Lisa in there because I love everything about her energy. Why are you making this so hard for me?
That's what I do.
I need some. Well, we need some men in there. We need another man in there.
I mean, I didn't have to be on this team. There's some heavy hitters already. I didn't have to be on it.
Who's another? Let me see. Who else?
Got one more. What?
I know. There's a lot of people that I would have probably said, and they're gone now. And they have to be Chicago-based.
Yep, gotta be Chicago.
It's like it's almost too many to narrow down into one.
No, that's why I love this question. It gets everybody in trouble every time.
Because that's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people, and there are a lot of people that I respect everything that they're doing.
And you worried about that text message you
Eric.
after this.
I'm throwing Eric in there.
Black cheese on.
I'm throwing Eric in there.
Hey, side note, y'all will see Eric on the Brown and Balance coming soon. It's my brother.
I love everything he's doing right now. He's doing big things. I'm super proud of him.
He is killing the game. Both of you guys, like y'all are.
Well, so are you. Everybody and their mama's congratulating you right now. Let me throw mine in there too.
Thank you.
I've been watching what you've been doing for forever, but it's exciting to see recognition actually coming forth because those are the things that need to happen.
Yeah, thank you. Games on notice now. That's all. It
was always on notice. They just didn't know it.
I love it. I love it. See, that's why I'm glad quarantine happened. We got to know each other a little bit. We worked on that other project, and I was like, "Oh, Jarmel hood like me. Okay, I like that. Okay, yeah, okay. Do never ever kids out there never judge a book by its cover. Think because Jarmel's at the aviary and all. Jarmel's just like everybody else. She's super cool, super sweet, approachable. She's just cool. Just don't come at her sideways. Or don't play with her money either, because I still got those.
Don't play with my money.
I still got those messages too, and we thought we had a little issue with our money coming.
Just saying, we had an agreement. I'm gonna need my money.
Facts. Yo, let the people know how to find you on the socials if they wanted to reach out. Especially, like I said, it's so important that these young bartenders see us. Like I remember, like Giuseppe brought up, like Jackie and Clyde and all them. I remember, like not knowing how to approach them until I did and found out how cool they were. And I know I'm starting to see that with some younger bartenders, with myself, other people, like they don't know if they want to come and say what's up to us because they feel like we're doing so many cool things, but we're just like everybody else. How can people find Jarmel to just reach out and holler at you if they need to?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. There I am. DM me, reach out. I'll shoot you my email. We can get into some conversation. I'm always down to answer questions or help in any way that I can. So.
Word. Well, there it is. That is today's show. Jarmel, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I got to do Chicago. We back to back Chicago. I had Charlie last week, you this week. So, I wanted to make sure to show the city some love because, we are the best city in the world. I know Giuseppe's from New York, but Chicago's the best out there. So I wanted to make sure.
I need to bartend a Brown and Balance party.
When it comes back to Chicago, don't worry. Yeah. You and Eric, actually funny, you and Eric are my 1 and 2 for that. So don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. We got, hopefully if our city act right and we don't get shut down in a month.
Hopefully.
Or two, we can, I'm in planning stages, for some getting back to live events. So, hopefully, we can get it together because we got Riot Fest coming up and school starting back. So I want to see how the cases go. But because if they go the way it's moving, we'll be back in the house doing this.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, I know. Knock on some wood, man. But
yeah, I got marble, but.
But thank you. I'm gonna see is Giuseppe still there? I know Keyatta had to dip. If he's still there, we bring him back on screen, man. Just give y'all an outro. You can lead the people with something. He probably not. Nah, he probably not. Well, lead the people with something before we get out of here. Anything you want to leave everybody with before we leave?
Everybody just keep doing what you're doing. Don't let people shut you down. Do what you're doing, and don't let people undervalue you.
Perfect. Hey, I'm not going to even back on that. We'll see y'all for Brown and Balance episode 9 coming soon. Stay tuned. Meet me on Instagram for the after show. Maybe I'll see if I can get Jarmel to come on Instagram. We can talk a little more reckless on there because Giuseppe broke my cuss button on here. So we'll have some fun on there, man. So I'll see y'all on Instagram in about 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, Campari. Thank you, Lush Life. I got my super producer, Leo, back, man. And with that being said, we out.